Hello, friends. Today I have Wilbur and Bear the Bear joining us for our news story. And I know some friends have actually heard this story already, so you get to enjoy it two times. But we're going to be reading the story Mango, Abuela, and Me. So we are going to start thinking about questioning when we are reading or when we're listening to a story because good readers ask questions before, during, and after they're reading. So that might mean when you're reading to yourself, but that also might mean when Mrs. Castaneda is reading to you. And one way that I like to think of this is to think of a question hand. Here is my question hand. And you can see that each finger has a different question word on it. The thumb is who, what, when, where, why, and your whole hand is how. So here I have good readers ask questions before, during, and after reading to understand the story. So some examples of questions are who is the story about? What is happening in the story? When does the story take place? Where are the characters? Why does the character make that choice? And how do the characters solve the problem? So, we're going to be thinking about our question hand when we read the story Mango, Abuela, and Me. Already, I can use my thumb question, my who question, and the title gives me a pretty big clue about who this story is about. Who do you think the characters of this story are? Probably the girl, the bird, and Abuela. Now, the bird could, just from you reading the title, the bird could be Mango, or the bird could probably maybe be the girl. Um, but Abuela in Spanish means grandma. So I'm thinking this is our Abuela. On our title page, he has a word card that says parrot on it. She comes to us in winter, leaving behind her sunny house that rested between two snaking rivers. Her old place was too much for just one, Mommy tells me, as we make room in my dresser for her clothes. And too far away for us to help, Papi adds. Abuela belongs with us now, Mia. But I still feel shy when I meet this far away grandmother. Now we know who this story is about. We know that Mia is our character, and Abuela has come to live with them. Pin pan pun. Papi unfolds Abuela's bed, and I think these are sound words. Papi unfolds Abuela's bed and slides it right next to mine. You will get to know each other, he says. But when I show Abuela my new book, she can't unlock the English words. We can only look at the pictures and watch Edmund race on his wheel. Then, just before we turn out the light, she pulls out two things tucked inside the satin pocket of her suitcase. A feather, una pluma, from a wild parrot that roosted in her mango trees, and a snapshot, una fotografia, of a young man with Papi's smile. Tu abuelo, she says, climbing into bed. Snuggled in my pajamas, I smell flowers in her hair, sugar and cinnamon baked into her skin. That night, I dream of a red bird circling in the sky. So, what is happening in this story so far? We know that Abuela has come to live with Mia and her family from a faraway house. We also know that she has a hard time reading English words, so she might have a hard time understanding English. I wonder how that feels. From the picture, I think not great to not understand someone you want to talk to. The rest of the winter, while Mommy and Papi are at work, Abuela waits for me to get home from school. Then we bundle up in thick socks and handmade sweaters to walk to the park and toss bread to the sparrows. My Espanol is not good enough to tell her the things an abuela should know, like how I am the very best in art and how I can run as fast as the boys. So now we know that their language goes two ways, that she doesn't understand Spanish very well and she doesn't speak English very well. So it's hard to communicate. How do you think the characters might solve this problem? That's another question from our question hand. Hmm, I wonder. And her English is too poquito to tell me all the stories I want to know about Abuelo and the rivers that ran right outside their door. With our mouths as empty as our bread baskets, we walk back home and watch TV. Hmm. Poquito means small, by the way. Abuela and I can't understand each other, I whisper to Mommy. Things will get better, Mommy says. Remember how it was with Kim? Kim is my best friend at school. When she was new, our whole class helped teach her English words. Now, Miss Wilson sometimes has to say, Please be quiet, girls. Others are working. After school the next day, while Abuela and I are making meat pies for our snack, I pretend I am Miss Wilson. Dough, I say, pointing to the ball. Abuela says, Dough, masa, and rolls it flat. Flat. Masa, I say. She drops a spoonful of meat in place. Carne. Carne, I say. Meat. Pasas. Raisins. Aceite. Oil. So, what is happening now? Now it sounds like it looks like they're teaching each other. She's learning Spanish and Abuela is learning English. They're teaching each other. Then I remember the word cards we taped in our classroom to help Kim. So while Abuela fries our empanadas, sorry, friends, I put up word cards too until everything is covered, even Edmund. Remember, Edmund is the hamster. Soon we are playing Oi Idi, hear and say, all around the house. But that night, she still calls my pillow a palo, and she still says Edmund is a gangster. We keep practicing. We'll keep practicing, I whisper. Well, we know that things take practice, right? Hamster, Edmund's labeled. But the next day, I cannot practice with Abuela after all. Edmund has run out of his favorite seeds, so Mommy and I have to ride the bus downtown to buy more. Sometimes there are kittens sleeping in the pet shop window, but when we arrive this time, something even better is behind the glass. What do you think it is? Look, I say. The window has become a jungle filled with birds, and right in the middle is a parrot staring at us with black bean eyes. I press my nose to the glass, thinking of the red feather Abuela gave me. Let's buy him, I tell Mommy. But Mia, you already have Edmund, Mommy says. Oh, not for me, I say, for Abuela, like the parrot that lived in her mango trees. He can keep her company when I'm at school. When we bring him home to Abuela, she says, Un loro, a parrot. We name him Mango because his wings are green, orange, and gold, like the fruit. During the day, Abuela teaches him how to get beaky kisses and to bob his head when he sings Los Pollitos to him. Buenas tardes, Mango, Abuela says, opening his cage door when I get home from school. Good afternoon, I say, and give him a seed. Soon Mango calls to me even before we open his cage. Buenas tardes, he says when I open the door. Good afternoon. So the problem of this story was that they couldn't communicate, right? They couldn't speak each other's language. So how are they solving this problem? That's our palm in our question hand. How are we solving this problem? How are they solving this problem? They're teaching each other, they use word cards, they're even using Mongo to help them too. Abuela is speaking to him in Spanish and Mia speaks to him in English. Mango or Abuela Mango and I practice new words every day. Mi español gets faster and Abuela and Mango Mango. Learned the days of the week, all the months of the year, and the names of coins. How did he learn all that? Papi asks when we show him all that Mango can do. Abuela winks at me and gives Mango a piece of banana, peel and all. Practice, she says. Before long, Abuela asked me how to say harder things too, so she can talk with the neighbors who stop by. Has the mailman come? It is chilly today. Can I get you some cookies and lemonade? Soon, when friends stop by to see Mango's latest tricks, they can understand everything, Abuela says. But best of all, now when Abuela and I are lying next to each other in our beds, our mouths are full of things to say. I tell her about my buen dia and show her my best pintura of Mango. Abuela reads my favorite book with only a little help, and she tells me news stories about Abuelo who could dive for river stones with a single breath and weave a roof out of palms. I draw pictures for her. She still misses their old house, she says, but now only a little bit. Mango listens to us from his perch until my eyes grow heavy. Hasta mañana, Abuela, I say. Abuela kisses me. Good night, Mia. Hasta mañana. Good night, Mango calls, and soon we all fall asleep. The end. So, why do you think that Abuela and Mia wanted to speak the other's language? Why did they make that choice? I think they made that choice because they wanted to get to know each other better and they wanted to be able to communicate every day. Like Mia said, she wanted to be able to tell her all about her day and all about the pictures that she made in art class. All right, friends.